Her silence feels like rejection, but it's not always what it seems. You send a simple message, wait, see the delivered checkmark, but no reply. She's seen it, yet she stays quiet, and that silence feels heavy, like a stone in your chest. You wonder, did I say something wrong? Did I push too hard? You scroll, reread, search for clues, trying to understand. You're kind, patient, showing interest, but sometimes she just withdraws. Her words disappear, her eyes look far away, and you feel yourself fading from her world. Maybe she's busy, maybe tired, but the silence stretches, and the ache grows. You think it's rejection. Here's the truth. Her silence isn't always rejection. It's communication. It's not absence of feeling, but presence of something deeper, fear, protection, uncertainty, love surviving quietly. This isn't manipulation. It's the silent language of the heart when words feel risky. Sometimes it means, I'm scared to lose what we have. Other times, I don't trust myself to speak without breaking something. Or I need to see if you'll still be here, even when I have nothing to say. Understanding her silence is about emotion, not games. Your calm, your patience can turn her quiet into connection. Silence isn't absence of love. It's love wearing armor when it's afraid. Golden rule number 1, silence as emotional armor. Her silence is not a withdrawal from you. It's a shield she wears to protect herself from being hurt. Every human being, when confronted with deep emotions, has a part of the brain that instinctively says, freeze, protect, retreat. It's not coldness. It's self-preservation. Think about it this way, she feels deeply. Every glance, every word, every subtle movement matters to her. When emotion surges, it can feel too raw to speak, too vulnerable to risk a misstep. So silence becomes the safest place, her fortress against the unknown. Neuroscience calls it the freeze response. Unlike fight or flight, freeze is stillness. It's the body's way of saying, I need to pause, I need space, I need to regulate. This is not rejection. This is a biological and emotional pause button. Most men interpret silence as coldness, but in reality it's an internal storm, a protective pause. She is not shutting you out. She is shielding herself until she feels safe again. Through evolution, women developed heightened emotional sensitivity. It was survival. Reading subtle cues, pausing before acting, avoiding danger. These instincts are hardwired. Silence was safety. It became instinctive. Even now in a modern world, those instincts surface whenever emotions threaten vulnerability. Take James, for example. He was dating someone for 6 months, and every time conflict arose, she withdrew into silence. James felt rejection. He tried calling, texting, pleading. Nothing worked. The silence stretched, growing heavier. Then one evening, she finally spoke, not about him, but about her fear. I don't want to say the wrong thing, she admitted. And if I do, I don't want to lose you. Her silence wasn't rejection. It was armor protecting her heart. James learned to respect it. He gave her space, and over time, that quiet became a bridge, not a barrier. Silence functions subconsciously as emotional regulation. When words are dangerous, when saying too much risks judgment or loss, the mind defaults to stillness. Pressure her during this moment and the armor thickens. Wait with patience and it gradually dissolves. When she goes silent, pause. Do not chase. Do not accuse. Your calm becomes the bridge. Her trust and openness depend on the space you create during her silence. Chasing, accusing, or demanding breaks the fragile safety she's trying to maintain. Her silence becomes permanent withdrawal. What could have been healing becomes distance. What could have been connection becomes fear. When she withdraws, resist the urge to flood her with messages. Send a single reassuring line. I'm here when you're ready to talk. Step back. Be present without pressure. Let her process her emotions safely. Your patience now is what opens the door for her voice tomorrow. Understanding her silence as protection is only the beginning. Next, we'll explore the hidden storm inside her, the inner conflict her quiet reveals, and why it's not what you think. Golden rule number 2, the storm inside her. Her silence often isn't about you. It's about a storm raging inside her, a conflict she can't easily put into words, a battle between what she wants to say and what she fears will happen if she says it. Inside, she wants to share, to reach out, to speak her truth, but a part of her hesitates, because expressing her emotions feels risky, because vulnerability has taught her that words can hurt, be misunderstood or even used against her. When emotions rise, the prefrontal cortex, the part of her brain that reasons, and the limbic system, the part that feels, may sometimes clash. The result? Silence. It's not indifference. It's caution. Her mind is negotiating with her heart, weighing each word before it can safely emerge. Most men mistake this silence for disinterest, but in reality it's a signal of depth, a subconscious way of protecting both her feelings and your connection. Historically, women were conditioned to temper their words. Expressing strong emotions could bring conflict, social backlash, or even danger. Over time, this instinct to pause and measure words became deeply rooted. Silence became not just a choice, but a strategy, a way to survive emotionally and socially. Consider Aaron's story. He was dating someone remarkable, intelligent, passionate, thoughtful. But every time he tried to ask her about her feelings, she went silent. He felt frustrated, even rejected. One evening, after days of quiet, she finally spoke. "I want to tell you, but I'm scared you'll judge me," she said. "Every time I try to open up, I've been misunderstood before. I just need to know it's safe." Aaron realized that her silence was not a wall between them. It was a protective barrier, guarding the vulnerability she had learned to hide. Her silence is a test, but not the kind you can pass with words. It's a test of patience, empathy, and presence. She's silently asking, "Can you hold space for me without judgment? Can you stay even when I cannot speak?" How you respond went with calmness, not pressure, directly influences her willingness to emerge from the storm. Her silence often reveals inner conflict, not disinterest. Recognize that the quieter she is, the more delicate her emotional state. Your role is not to fill the silence with words, but to fill it with safety. If you misread her silence as rejection and respond with impatience or accusation, you reinforce her fear. Her internal storm grows. Her trust in you diminishes, and the distance between you becomes unbridgeable. When she is silent, acknowledge her need for space silently, not verbally. Practice patience. Let the storm run its course. Maintain a consistent, calm presence. Your energy signals safety. Avoid rushing, questioning, or lecturing. The quieter she is, the more she is waiting to see if you can stay steady. Your calm becomes her anchor. Her silence is never random. It's an emotional language that few understand. Recognizing the storm inside her is half the battle. Next, we'll explore how her silence reflects not just her emotions, but your presence too, and why that matters more than you think. Golden rule number 3, the mirror of presence. Here's something most people overlook. Her silence doesn't exist in isolation. It's a reflection, a mirror, reflecting not only her emotions, but yours, your energy, your presence, your state of being. When you're anxious, desperate, or impatient, it amplifies her silence, telling her unconsciously that the space between you is unsafe. And the quieter she becomes, the louder your tension speaks. Humans naturally mirror each other's energy. If you radiate calm, security, and patience, she feels safe to emerge from her quiet. But if you radiate panic, doubt, or frustration, she instinctively retreats further. Your energy communicates louder than words ever could. The silence is not a test of your words, it's a test of your presence. Throughout history, humans have relied on nonverbal communication to gauge safety. Our ancestors knew that a calm presence signals stability, protection, and trustworthiness. And in relationships, this primal coding hasn't changed. Your stillness can be louder than any apology or explanation. Take Luke, for example. He noticed his girlfriend would withdraw during conversations about deep topics, and initially he tried to force dialogue, asking questions, pressing for answers, sending multiple texts, but her silence grew heavier. Then he changed his approach. He stopped pressing, breathed, and focused on being present. He would simply say, "I'm here when you're ready," and give space. Over time, her silence softened. Words started to flow, and her quiet became a space of intimacy rather than distance. Luke realized that her silence had been reflecting his energy all along, and when he changed his presence, her silence transformed into connection. Silence is an emotional mirror. She is scanning the room, scanning your energy, scanning your reactions, and your emotional state either reassures her or reinforces her protective armor. When you stay grounded, you communicate. "I can hold this space. I can stay steady. I can be here for you." When her silence reflects your tension, Do not react with frustration. Shift your energy first, calm your mind, slow your breathing, and be fully present, because your presence can speak what words cannot. Reacting impulsively or letting anxiety take over only deepens the gap. She senses insecurity, fear, or impatience, and silence turns from temporary armor into permanent withdrawal. When she's quiet, notice your own energy before sending another message. Slow your breathing, release tension, maintain a calm state, send one short, non-intrusive message if necessary. I'm here, and let her silence respond in its own time. Your stillness communicates safety, and your calm presence is the language she understands best. Her silence is not just about her, it's about you too. It's a reflection of your energy, your presence, your patience. Mastering this insight is crucial, but we're not done yet. Next, we'll uncover the unspoken test of patience, the subtle ways her silence gauges your emotional endurance, and why that matters more than words. Golden rule number 4, the unspoken test of patience. Her silence is often a test, not in the manipulative sense you might imagine, but a subtle gauge to see if you can stay steady when there are no words to lean on, because love, when it's raw, doesn't always speak and sometimes only waits. When she withdraws, she's observing without speaking, watching to see if you will react impulsively, anxiously or defensively, or if you can sit quietly. Hold your ground and remain present. Silence reveals patience, empathy, and emotional maturity, better than any conversation ever could. Psychologists call this the observational patience test. When her mind is full of doubts or fears, she may need to retreat to assess safety, and your reaction during this time tells her more about your emotional reliability than words ever will. If you panic, pressure, or plead, you signal instability, but if you wait with calmness and presence, you signal trustworthiness. This is why silence can feel like rejection, because it's testing your strength, your steadiness, and your ability to hold space for her vulnerability. Throughout history, humans have relied on observation more than words to gauge trust, and communities thrived where patience and calm presence were valued over impulsive reactions. Women, in particular, developed keen senses for these subtle signals, not to manipulate, but to survive emotionally and socially, and silence became a tool to assess character and stability without confrontation. Consider Ryan's experience. His partner had a habit of withdrawing when stressed, and initially he saw it as rejection, calling, texting, and even arguing, which only deepened her silence until he shifted his approach, observing, breathing, and remaining patient, sending just one message, "I'm here when you're ready," and days later she opened up honestly, not defensively. Her silence had been a quiet test, and his patience proved him trustworthy. Her silence functions as a mirror for emotional endurance, asking if you can remain calm in uncertainty and hold the space without filling it with fear or frustration. And this is not punishment, but an opportunity to show that you can be a safe harbor when the storm of her mind rages silently. Patience is your most powerful tool. Her silence is not an attack, but a chance to demonstrate emotional reliability. And when you hold space for her, trust grows, while impulsive reactions only thicken walls. Chasing or reacting hastily confirms her fears, signals instability, and widens the gap, turning what could have been a moment of connection into another layer of distance. When she withdraws, resist the urge to overcommunicate. Send one concise message if necessary, showing calm presence such as "I'm here." Take your time. Focus on grounding yourself with slow breathing, gentle posture, and relaxed tone, and let her silence reveal itself without interference. Patience isn't passive, it's active presence, and your calm can transform her silence from a test into trust. Silence can feel like rejection, but in truth, it's a subtle measure of your steadiness. And the more you understand this, the deeper your connection can become, eventually transforming her quiet into trust and unlocking her heart completely. Her silence is not rejection. It is armor, a storm, a mirror, a test, and ultimately a doorway to trust, a language without words and a signal of vulnerability. It shields her heart, reveals her inner storms, mirrors your presence, tests your patience, and when met with steadiness, transforms into trust. This is not just about relationships, but about understanding human nature, because true intimacy is forged not in words but in presence. When you listen to the quiet without fear or rush, you begin to see the full spectrum of another heart. So stop interpreting silence as rejection, stop chasing responses, and instead offer presence, patience, and calm. Her silence is speaking. The question is, will you listen? For more videos like this, subscribe this channel and turn on notifications.